Hello, hello everybody. I will be with you in just a moment. Hello there. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day. And today, hello, as you can see, I have a couple people. Hi, Leslie. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about baking. And I know that we did a little project a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember this. Hopefully you caught it. But I showed you guys how to make these adorable little cupcakes. I'll pull it in closer for you. And these are actually not cupcakes at all. They are faux food cupcakes. And kind of sticking with that theme tonight, we're just going to talk a little bit about baking, and then we're going to do a project. So let's just wait for a couple people to hop in. If you are new, please say hello, and absolutely thank you so much for SHARING this video. I'm not supposed to say the word, it slips out sometimes. So we say sprinkle, so thank you for sprinkling my video. So I was married in 1981 when I was at a tender age of 18. Oh my gosh, I find that so hard to believe. But anyway, my mom had a bridal shower for me, and one of the things that I got that I still use all the time is this lovely, lovely Betty Crocker cookbook. So give me some love if you have one. You probably have one if you're about my age. But this has been, I mean, I have a lot of cookbooks, but I tend to go back to this one quite a bit for things like roasting times, for making meat mostly. But there's a couple recipes that are tried and true in here, and one of the things that I always make every single year is pineapple upside down cake for Easter. I don't know what it is. I guess my mom used to make them, but Easter just wouldn't be the same without pineapple upside down cake. Hi, Cindy, made from the Betty Crocker cookbook. So do you guys have a favorite recipe from an old cookbook that you go back to a lot? Sometimes those old ones are the best ones, and you might notice that they don't have like, what do you call those, avocados, or rarely recipes for things like that, which is so commonplace now, but these are all really good recipes, and I still go back to it every now and then for a couple of different things. Anyway, yep, you have the older one. Was your grandmother's? The Bible, that's your cookbook? There's probably some recipes in there. They don't miss much, do they? So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. This is my Betty Crocker from my mom, and I will keep it forever. Even if I don't cook anymore, I always have this book. So, well, I'm not as old as your grandma, Cindy. I don't think it's the same. That version is, oh my God, it's by Golden Books. Can you believe that? And I could probably find the date in here. 1978 was published. So it's kind of old. Kadena, I know. All right, so today we're going to do a project for people who love to bake. And I do love to bake. And I'm going to tell you there's one thing that I cannot bake. I can bake a lot of things. But there's one thing that I can't bake. What do you think it is? And then you can tell me if you can do it, because I really need help with this. So let me change my camera around a little bit, and we will get started on this project. Here we go. So, the Betty Crocker, oh, now I understand what you mean, Kadena. You're funny. It is. It's so, everything in there is very simple, and there's no crazy ingredients. Sometimes when you have a recipe that has 20 different ingredients, I just walk right past it because I don't have time for that. I don't have time. So, tonight we're going to be working on a beautiful Grayson chalkboard. This is, I believe it's 10 by 12. I'm sorry, I'm not remembering my measurements right off the top of my head. But it is perfectly sized for our B size transfers. So that's what we're going to use tonight. And one of the things about this chalkboard that I really like is that it's got hangers on the long side and the short side, so that you can hang it either tall or wide. But you have to remember to always design with the hanger on the right side of your project. Trust me, I have put them on the wrong sides before. It's okay. The red and black checked cover. Oh, you know what? I think my mom might have had one of those. Anyway, so have you guessed what I can't bake yet? Hello, Jan. Jan Porter, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to be using a transfer called Measure, Stir, Bake, and Frost. It is a super cute design. I've had this for a while. It's actually not a brand new transfer, and I've always wanted to do something with it, so I finally figured out what I wanted to do. So we're going to take this out of the package as usual. I always save my packaging because our transfers are reusable, and after you've used them, washed them, dried them, you need a place to put them. The packaging that it comes with is the perfect place to put them in to store them. There's also instructions on the back of these packages, so if you ever go, what did she say to do with this? Check the back, because it's usually right there. So this is a cut apart transfer. There are some cutting lines right here, so we're going to get right in there and cut them. I am using chalkboard transfer trimmers. They look like ordinary beautiful teal, lovely scissors, but they are non-stick, so that if you're cutting something sticky, like our transfers are on the back side, you're not going to have any problems with them sticking to your scissors. So that's a good thing. These are 3 little bowls that we're also going to cut apart because we're going to use all 3 of them. We're going to use this whole transfer tonight. All right, nobody has a clue what it is that I can't cook. If you ask my husband, it would be other things too, but this one thing I am really, really bad at. I gave up. So I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to just write measure on the back of this. And I'm going to write on my bowls too. So I'm going to write large, medium, and small because I have 3. And the reason, 2 different reasons. First of all, if you've got a lot of pieces hanging around like this and you've got all your transfers peeled off, sometimes it can be tricky to figure out which carrier sheet your transfer goes on when you're putting them back together. This one's pretty easy. Sometimes it isn't. But the main reason that I do it is because after you've washed them, you want to replace them on your carrier sheet. The side that I wrote on is sort of a matte finish on it, where the side that's attached to the transfer is slick and slippery, and it'll stick on and peel off really, really easily. So to remove your transfer from the carrier sheet, the easiest thing to do is just to roll your thumb along the edge. I just did it over here, but no, it's not going to work. Just kind of roll it and it should peel right up. I'm just going to remove this from the carrier sheet. This one feels pretty sticky, so we're going to do something called fuzzing with it. And what fuzzing does is it helps soften the adhesive just a little bit. And you can use a towel or your t-shirt. We have a special towel called a fuzzing cloth that works beautifully for this. But if you don't have one, you can always use a towel or a t-shirt. So this is helping the sticky side of the transfer pick up just a little bit of texture and fiber so that the adhesive isn't quite as sticky. This one isn't too bad. All right, you guys, nobody's going to guess what I'm bad at. I can't believe it. Because you don't think I'm bad at it. I really am bad at something. At one thing with baking. I can frost a cupcake, so that's not it. So I'm going to move this to the side. It's going to the left side just a little bit. So I'm going to do something with the bowls over here. But as soon as you have that in a happy place, looks like it's a little bit crooked. I'm just going to move it just a smidge. Just a smidge. A smidge sometimes matters a lot, sometimes it doesn't. But come on now. Behave. So get that down, and then you're going to take a squeegee. I usually start by just kind of smoothing my hand over it. I've got a bump right here that I want to pull up and smooth back down. But I try to go over it with one of our small rubber squeegees just to make sure you've got it nice and tight. You can actually hear it pop sometimes when you're going across the transfer if there's air underneath it. Kind of that Rice Krispie snap crackle pop sound. So just kind of work through. Looks like there's a piece of hair or something right here. Oh, I guess it isn't. I don't know what it is. And it's all smooth, nice and tight. So we're going to be using the peel and pull method again. I think we did this a couple nights ago when we did the kind words on chalkboard. That was so cute. You guys, if you have not signed up for that class and you are local to me, you're going to want to check that out. You need to be in my VIP group to be able to see my local events. So if you're not in my VIP group and you'd like to be, please put VIP in the comments and I'll be sure to get you in there. I live in the Springfield, Mass, Hartford, Connecticut area. So yeah, we love to have you. So I'm going to be doing this, and as I was saying, in the paste and peel method, and I'm going to be using bright white chalk paste as well as my favorite eucalyptus. This is a gorgeous kind of a gray-green color that matches my kitchen really nicely, and I love the color. So let's open these jars and get them stirred up a little bit. I use white a lot, especially on my chalkboards. This one feels a little bit thick. You want the consistency to be about like, believe it or not, cake batter, since we're baking today. So I'm going to add a little bit of distilled water from a spray bottle that I have on the side and just stir that up so it's a little bit more creamy. You don't want it to be too thick because it drags across your transfer. And you don't want it to be too wet because if it's too wet, it can bleed underneath. So right about the consistency of cake batter, sour cream, any of those would be just perfect. Got a couple lumps in here I'm going to avoid, but I'm not going to spend too much time stirring right now. Okay, so let me get the green one going. We're almost done with the stirring. Okay. This one I have not used for a little while, so let's see how it is. Yep, this one feels a little thicker than I like it also. So again, I'm just going to add distilled water. The town where I live recently made a little bit of a change to our water supply, and I'm noticing that there's more of a chlorine smell to it than we've ever had. It does taste a little different too. We've always had really good water here, but they have made a change to it, and when that happened, I needed to stop using tap water to thin my chalk paste because I was coming up with some mildewed chalk. So it's always best to play it safe and go to the grocery store and get some distilled water. I bought a gallon for a little bit of nothing, and it's lasting me for a long time. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to cover the first line of our design with white chalk paste. So if you've never seen this done before, what this is not a stencil. It is actually a silk screen. So anywhere where you can see the black or the gray showing up through the center of the letters, there's a very fine screen in there that allows us to get all of the detail that you'll see in this design. Okay, gotcha, Leslie. So I'm going to take a squeegee, and we're going to start with white. And I'm going to scoop some of that paste up and just spread it over the word measure. One of the fun things about using a transfer with lots of words on it like this is that you're also getting lots of letters. And because you have lots of letters, you can also make other words with them. For example, in the fall, we did a sign that said harvest on it. Some of you guys might have been there. We did harvest signs, and we realized that if we changed up the letters a little bit, we could also make the word Easter. So if you have that harvest sign, you can make Easter signs with it too. So as soon as you have it covered, you're going to go back over the whole design and scoop off all of that excess chalk paste like so. And that excess goes right back into the jar for another project. So scoop that off nice and clean. Whoops. That's going to be a white one anyway, so it dripped it a little bit. I'm just going to go back and forth with the green and the white. That should be really pretty. So while it's still wet, you want to remove the transfer. Just peel it back to just below that word, like so. And you got measure. So I'm going to really carefully dry this quickly. I'm going to show you how to do that. You can just let it air dry, and you can also just let this set for about a minute and then let your transfer drop back down and continue. But I'm going to show you how to dry that really quickly. I'm using a heat tool, and this is mostly used for embossing, so it gets really high heat. So you want to keep it moving, and this will be dry in just, I don't know, 30 seconds. You can also use a hairdryer to do this. The most important thing to remember is not to get the heat on your transfer, because it'll warp your transfer. Nobody wants that. So I'm just going to let that fall back nice and gentle. And then I'm going to take another squeegee because we're using a different color this time. And I'm going to smooth that back down again nice and tight. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go in with that eucalyptus. This is such a beautiful color, you guys. and cover those letters as well. You don't have to worry about covering all of the screen or the teal color of the screen, just the open areas. Here we go. And if you have any questions while I'm working, please ask. Or say, don't do that, or I love that, or anything. Talk to me. Otherwise, I talk to myself, and I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Okay, almost done. So I'm leaving this on pretty thick. If I was doing it by myself, I probably wouldn't use quite as much chalk paste. But I always like you guys to see that you can use as much as you want pretty much, because there's no waste. You just take off all the excess. So I'm going to go back over and pull that. I've got a really cute accessory for this coming up too, so stay tuned. Okay, getting them all done. So this chalk paste is water soluble, which is really great news, because if I get tired of this design and want to change it, I can just spray it down with water and scrub it off and redesign anytime I want to. So let's pull that back again, and we're going to go just below stir, like so. Oh, I love this color. Just love it. And let's go in and dry that. So this is called Measure, Stir, Bake, Frost. That's the name of this transfer. I don't think I have any in stock locally, but it is available on my website, which is listed in the description up above. All right. Oops, a little bit there, a little bit. You can actually see it changing colors when it dries. It's kind of fun to watch that. Doesn't take much to amuse me. Okay, so now we're going to do bake in white. We're just kind of going back and forth with our eucalyptus and bright white. It should be really pretty. Okay, let's get that white. All right, now let's bake. All right, nobody's going to take a crack at what I don't bake well. Guys, really? All right, tell me what your favorite thing to bake is then. Are you a cookie baker, a cake baker, a brownie baker, pineapple upside down cake baker, Freihoffer baker? Okay. So here we go, we're going to go back over that white again, scoop it off. All right, that looks pretty good. Sometimes I try to mostly get the lines out that are left by my squeegee, as well as getting it nice and thin. A nice thin coat looks the best, actually. And we'll peel that back and dry it for a sec. These letters are really rustic looking. It's nice. I like it. All right. One more section, and then we'll dress it up just a little bit with something cute, because cute matters, right? You make a banana bread every weekend. Cindy, I have to tell you that you post the best recipes on Facebook, and I think I gain weight just looking at your recipes. So you might want to stop that. She really does. I don't know where she comes up with these, but they look great. I like banana bread. Do you make it with nuts or no nuts? have a no nut kind of family. No allergies, they just prefer them, everything without them. I love nuts, walnuts in cookies and walnuts in banana bread. I think my mom actually used to make banana bread with raisins in it, if I'm not mistaken. My dad always liked raisins and everything. Okay. No nuts. Do you make them from scratch or do you use a box? Okay. Guess what? This is done. We're going to peel this whole baby off. Ta-da! I love the peel and reveal. It's always the fun part. Cover these up for a minute and we'll dry that, and we're going to move on to the really cute embellishment I have for this. So one of the things that I'm noticing, it's not a big thing, is there's a little bit of a smudge right there. And there's another one at the top of my T right here. Good girl, Cindy. I don't bake as much as I used to. My kids used to like certain things. Mostly cookies and brownies. But now if I make them, nobody eats them. And I end up throwing them away. So it's not quite as much fun anymore. Okay. So as I was saying, I've got two little smudges on here, and you probably wouldn't even notice them. I'm going to pull them up so you can see that even I make mistakes. So see the top of that T? There's a little plop on the top. And then over here on my, is it the S? There's a little one right on the bottom. So I've got this tool. It's called a detail tool, and it serves a couple different functions. First of all, this is the end that I'm going to use. It's a very sharp point. Kind of reminds me of a dental tool, and the other side has a tiny, tiny squeegee on it. You can use this for stirring, but if you have something tiny like a small flower that you want to paste, this is a great size for that. But this pointy thing is for scratching off those little tiny mistakes that you have, and it works beautifully. One there, and I got one here, and then you'll never know what was there at all. All right. That is it. So I'm going to move this out of sight for a few minutes while we get the rest of our project ready. That was easy, huh? All right, I do need to do a little bit of painting, and this will be a quick paint. So what I did is I went down in my workshop and I cut out this little pile of bowls, which will coordinate with these little bowls right here. So we're going to put the bowls in the bowls in the bowls. But I wanted to put a little bit of paint on that first. It is raw, like a balsa wood, I guess. It's pretty thin. And we're going to just paint this real quick with this color. It's a Folk Art Country Twill. I have had this for a long time. I'm just hoping, yep, it's still good. Do you ever have a bottle of paste and paint and you try to open it and it's like, that's not good anymore. All right, I'm gonna do just the top. I don't think it'll matter if I skip the sides. It's almost the same color as the wood. I'm just going to put a quick coat of this acrylic paint on it. This is a really pretty color. It's almost like a wheat color. It's nothing new. I've had it, like I said, in my stash for a long, long time. Got lots of bottles of them. I used to take acrylic painting classes back in the day when I had babies. All right, so I'm going to dry this really quick with my heat tool again. It'll take just about a minute. It's almost dry already. Almost done. to start with the bottom bowl. And we're going to be using, I'm going to use the eucalyptus again. I'm going to use this color, which is called Shimmer Crimson. It's a beautiful red color with a little bit of sparkle. And I'm also going to use this color. This is called Nantucket. It's a retired color, but we have things that are similar to that. But I think these are going to be really, really pretty. So let's peel this off. I want to check the stickiness on this. It's not too bad. I'm going to fuzz it once or twice on my towel. And again, I'm just popping this on and off to pick up a little bit of lint from the towel. And we're going to place it right where it goes on here, at least where I think it goes. So if you are putting a transfer on top of something that's shaped like this, I always recommend that you hold it up to the light and you can see exactly where your transfer is. And I think I got it right the first time this time. So we're going to start with the green, the eucalyptus, and we're going to chalk this up. I think I need a new squeegee. Okay, so grab some of this, and we're going to cover this to make a striped bowl. And it works just the same as if you were on a chalkboard. Scrape off the excess and put it back in your jar. We are going to be done with the eucalyptus, so I'm going to shut that. And while the paste is still wet, remove your transfer. So give that a quick dry. Dries really fast. All right, the next one we're going to do the medium bowl, and I'm going to do this one in that crimson color. So again, let's fuzz it a little bit. And we're going to lay this on top. Now this is going to overlap the bowl that's on the bottom. So I'm going to go off to the side for a quick second and grab some painter's tape so that I can cover the part that I don't want to chalk. See how that looks. That looks good. Put that right there. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on this transfer over the part that I just chalked because it might be a little bit soft still. Let me just grab my tape. I thought I had everything I needed except for this. So this is just regular old blue painter's tape. You pick it up at any hardware store, or I actually have our own brand of tape like this on my website. That is a Chalk Couture brand. So I can see where the green stripe is right there on top of this bowl. So I'm just going to cover that part with the tape. Right about there. And we're just going to chalk the top part of this. And that pretty crimson. There we go. So this is a shimmer chalk paste, and I'm going to pull it up, see if you can possibly see it. There's just a tiny little bit of a glimmer in it. It isn't like glittery. It is very, very soft, shimmery. So this has kind of a different feel to it than the other chalk paste. It's a little gritty feeling, but it works in the exact same way. Just kind of spread it all over your design. And then scrape it off. Can you hear the grit in that? Let's peel that back. There's our little red bowl. And you could start with a base coat of whatever color you like. This one, I'm almost feeling like it's a little dark looking, but we're going to brighten it up in a minute. So let's cover this and we'll dry that shimmer, and then we'll do the next color, that pretty blue. Then we'll put it all together. Hello, Miss Annie. Okay. The next part is the bowl that goes on top, and I kind of made these so they were topsy-turvy. Hold that up a little bit so you can see. I kind of wish I had done this in like an ivory color, but you'll see. We're going to put it on top of something white, so it might be fine. You love the bowls? Thank you. I think they're pretty cute. So I'm going to fuzz this last little transfer. And we're going to put this up on the top. So see how they're kind of going wonky? I think that looks fun. This one doesn't overlap a ton. Just a tiny little bit on the top. I almost don't even need the tape there, but there's just a smidge. Okay, let's cover that right there. And we'll go in with that gorgeous blue. So this is called Nantucket. We have something that's very similar, but I always love this color. Maybe it's because I live in Massachusetts where we have Nantucket. How many of you guys have been to Nantucket? Anybody been there? Or Martha's Vineyard? They're both, in case you don't know, they're small islands off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And Martha's Vineyard is probably a little bit more famous than Nantucket because the movie Jaws was filmed there years ago. I bet you've all seen that movie. Okay, here we go. Our last little chalked piece here. Move everything so you can see. And we're just going to cover this with the blue. And all the excess, you know where it goes. Okay, here we go. Sweet. Ooh, it's tippy. It looks cool. All right, dry that up a little bit. Yes, I've been very busy in my workshop lately. You've been to both? In Nantucket, yep. Cindy, you've been to both. Which one is your favorite? Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard? All right, guys. Let me get the rest of this going here for you. Pull that off. So I also cut out these cute little tags, and these are made from some wainscoting. So I made this cute little tag, and I wanted to put this on here. And that is all going to come together when we hang it here. Oh, I wish I had smushed the whole design like a smidge to the left, and it would have fit a little bit better. It's okay though, you guys. You can watch me mess up and you can do it the right way. So I would have made that a little bit closer to the edge, but who knew? All right, so what I'm going to do before I glue this to the tag, I'm going to run some twine through the top of the tag. And so I've got a length of twine here. It's, I don't know, maybe 36 inches long. Fold it in half and make the loop end go through the hole. You can go through the front or the back, doesn't really matter. And pull the loop through and then thread your tails right through the loop to give yourself a little hanger there, like so. And then I'm going to move this aside for now. Thanks, Leslie. Columbus Day weekend, yeah. I haven't been to Martha's Vineyard for a long time. Long time. I remember going camping there once as a kid and it like poured all week. You ever gone camping like that? Not the most fun. Okay, so I've got my two tails trimmed evenly here. And what I'm going to do is take a piece of tape and tape the ends together as tightly as I can. And you'll see why in just a minute. we're going to make some farm beads for this. So I've got my tails tied together and I'm going to thread them through these beads. Hopefully it'll fit. It is impossible to put them together through the holes without taping. That worked good. So I'm going to put just 3 beads on there. And these beads you could use on this design if you want to, or you could use them anywhere. This is super cute. So I got my 3 beads. Sorry, let me go back a little bit more again. Oh no, my camera's not going to cooperate. Wrong way. There we go. Sorry. Oh, come on. There, I think I have it now. Okay, there's the beads. They're going down. They are going down. So I've got my 3 little beads here. And before I came on live tonight, I made just a little black and white gingham bow, buffalo check, whatever you want to call it. To tighten it a little bit because I wanted to put one right in here. And I think I'm just going to use a little drop of glue for that. But before I do, I'm going to cut the tails. I showed you guys how to do this last night. You fold your ribbon in half, and from the side edges up into the middle of the ribbon, you just make that little snip, and that gives you those cute little points. Sorry, you can't really see very well there, huh? Got some glare. And I'm going to do the same with this one, from the outer edges up into the fold. And there's our cute little gingham. Put that there. Grab my glue gun. Just going to put a little dot on the back. I don't know if my glue gun, if I have bad glue or if my glue gun's getting too old to work well, but it's not working well. There, I got a drop. That's all I needed. I'm just going to pop that right in there like so. And then I'm going to take our cute little bowls and glue that in the center. Oh, thanks, Cindy. I love that I can embellish with, you know, other things. Yeah, boy, you really have to work this glue. I've had this glue gun since I think I was a teenager. It's been a really long time. And yeah, it's not working real well tonight. Okay, we'll glue this right to the center like so. And you could absolutely put something like this anywhere in your kitchen, right? All right, so you can make a whole row of the beads if you want to. I'm going to try to move this camera. I don't like the way that looks. Sorry. I'm going to move my camera down for a second so I can zoom out. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. There we go. That's better. Or it will be. There we go. Okay, so there's our tag. And this is our board. And you absolutely can just hang this over the top and put a little piece of tape behind it and hold it still. Like I said, I wish I had gone just a little bit closer to the edge on that side or made a little bit smaller tag. But I think that looks super cute with it together. So probably what I would do is just kind of hang it over to the side a little bit and call it a day. You can actually tape it to the back of your chalkboard if you want to. You guys like this? Hi, Tracy. I think it's pretty sweet. So that is what I have for you guys tonight. This transfer is available on my website as well as the chalk paste. I can't sell my tags on my business page. If you're interested in being in my VIP group, we can talk about that. Oh, it's so hard not to say things live on my business page sometimes, but I'm not supposed to say some things publicly. So if you want to know some private information, make sure that you are in that VIP group. I do have this surface in stock in my local store. If you're interested in that, let me know. I have local pickups where you can come get it, or I can ship to you. There will be a little extra charge for shipping. I do have a starter kit if you are interested in joining as either a hobbyist or as a business builder. $99 to get started. It is the best kit you'll ever buy. Of course, that entitles you to get a wonderful discount, so be sure to ask me if you're interested in that. We also have an exclusive club called Club Couture. which I talk about all the time. You guys, it is so much fun to get your transfer every month. It's an exclusive transfer only my Club Couture members get, with 3 chalk paste singles, and you get instructions, video instructions and written instructions. I try to show samples of the club kit every month to you guys to give you more ideas on what you can do with it. You also get monthly specials almost every month. You get a free catalog at every major catalog launch. You get reduced shipping, flat rate $4.95. Excuse me. It's just a lot of fun. Sorry about that. So, if I can interest you in any of those things, please let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for meeting with me. And I'll see you again. I'm going to see if I can come live tomorrow night too. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye.